we like to say that we're growing gardeners. It was in the early days we thought we ought to have big gardens and just get food out, but there's already plenty of feeding organizations that are doing that very well. There's not a lot of folks out growing gardeners.
Seedleaf, a nonprofit here in Lexington, exists to nourish the community. And we do that, as our little slogan is, by growing, cooking, sharing, and recycling food.
I think that as a result of Seedleaf's efforts, more people are interested in gardening, if not at one of the community gardens, in their own backyard. They're highlighting how important it is that we create our own food source and be in a position to sustain ourselves rather than have to buy everything at the supermarket. I hope they're there for a long time, because I think not only do they produce fruit on that site, but we know that they're producing fruit off that site. I mean, and when I say that, I mean people are growing things in their own backyards that I think would not have grown vegetables and backyard gardens before.
Since London Farrell Community Garden was founded, one of the important pieces, the cornerstone of it, was that it would also, in addition to providing space for people to grow food of their own, it would be a place where food could be shared. And by now, because this is our third year here, we have a number of people who know that we have our regular maintenance hours on Saturday, and they come in and get produce to feed their families, to offset some of their food costs. And that's really important to us, that we're able to share for them. We don't require them to pay. We don't really even require that they work. We try to engage them. We try to connect with them. But sharing is kind of that cornerstone, that this is going to produce more food than we need. We get to do regular cooking opportunities with youth, which is very fun. They're always exciting to work in the garden with. Whether they're eating something raw out of the garden, trying to convince them that a baby carrot is in fact just a small carrot. It's not necessarily the big carrots that have been chopped up and made to look like baby carrots. And then taking that food into the kitchen and grating it up. Maybe we're making a carrot slaw that day, or maybe we're taking corn off the cob and making it into corn fritters, and seeing that process all the way through, and seeing them get excited about how it transforms from the garden which they saw it grow, but weren't necessarily convinced that it was food, all the way to when it's warm out of the oven on a plate. I find that very, very rewarding, and I think that's when we get some of our greatest smiles, of that discovery. They seeing it all the way through and can taste the results of their work.
The way we recycle food is by composting on site, mostly near our gardens. So what we do is we've kind of informally contracted with 12 area kitchens and restaurants. We pick up their pre-consumer waste, so any scraps that come from when they make a salad, or just the fresh stuff. A lot of corn cobs not too long ago. We pick that up in a 5-gallon bucket just off the dock at Sayre School, or these different partnerships. We then take it from that dock to the closest garden or the closest spot that we have where we're doing our compost. There's 7 of these spots throughout downtown, but a number of our gardens have spaces where we're breaking it down. That's another thing that we're rescuing from the waste stream.
I think Seedleaf will continue to grow, and I hope we can fold in as many people as possible. But we don't want to become an empire. I think the best thing that could happen for Seedleaf is for us to put ourselves out of business. If we are no longer needed, if there is no longer a need for the knowledge of how to grow food, how to cook food, how to share food, and how to recycle food, if that's just commonly understood, then there'll be no more need for us. And that means that families and communities will know how to do this on their own already.